So cold, even my heater doesn't want to turn on all the way. And my lights don't want to, well, the LEDs light right up, but these incandescent, they take a minute to warm up. Been doing most of this work all week in 20-degree temperatures mostly. So I've got these bird boxes wrapped. Got one more to do. I was completely frozen, all this. We'll get this bird box wrapped. And this wind does not help. My goodness. The wind chill's gotta be like 15. But we'll get that one done. Small access door for now to the addition. That garage door is not coming until December 22nd, so that doesn't help. So I put a little temporary door that doesn't work too well, but keeps the heat in. 12-foot sections. I've been wimping out and doing most of my cuts in this heated garage. I'm trying something a little different on this bird box. I've already put a full piece of fascia up. I left that end loose so I can tuck the piece coming from this way up underneath it so you don't see the seam. Made a little lip here on the end. So basically I just cut it, I shaved off the bottom part, and I wrapped around because you're gonna need this. You're gonna need this corner protected from the elements. So I end up, oh, I can bend up a little bit. But what we'll do next, zoom out here, measure from here, your wall on out to the edge of the bird box, which in my case was 11.25, and then from this edge all the way out, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap at the end because I'm going to come in with this piece that runs down the whole fascia will extend to this point. So I'll cut it a little bit short so we don't have like 3 pieces showing, potentially showing at the end. So we'll our mark for 11.25 there. So that's where our first bend will be. So we'll flip this over. We're going to measure right where that bend is at. We're going to draw a straight line. We're going to draw a straight line right from there. And we'll run our razor blade. Give it a couple scores. So I literally just left that square there, scored it a couple times, and you'll see the metal where it is cut, and that lines up perfectly with our mark there. Now, flip this around, make sure your lip is hanging off the side of the table here, because you don't want to make a crease in this nice gap right there. And you're just gonna find your mark and bend it down over itself. And you'll also want to pay mind to which way this is going to, which way it's going to curl up over. I actually want this to curl up under, so we'll kind of give it a little persuasion before we start bending. So I want that one to start tucking up, and we'll actually make a little relief cut on that too. Here. So we want that to bend up underneath so we will not see this edge from the outside. This will be one nice visual line. Be nice and crispy. When you're bending this, just go nice and slow. See, we got a little bit of a bubble starting there. So you want to make sure you hold it and start bending it there where it's got the bubble starting. So you want this to be real nice. And see, my edge is catching there, so we're gonna try and tuck that a little more. Kind of tell you where it wants to be bent first, so you get that nice clean edge. All right, so when you're done, you'll have a nice clean 90. So that's our first bend, right? That is coming out, and then we need to go across and towards the front of the fascia. So we'll mark our 25 just from this bend here. 25.5, and I kind of had a rough idea marked out 36 3/4 for the total length, so I did that. So we'll go ahead and cut that off completely. So when you're done, you're left with a piece like this. From the outside looking up, you'll just see that finish. If you did it the other way, you would see your tab. You'd see this tab that folded up over right here, and that would not look as clean in my opinion. All right, so here's what you're left with. And you'll notice that my fascia is not thick enough to cover that. So I will show you the trick to finish that as well. Just kind of finish getting this tacked in. Alright, so that nail will be covered by the piece of fascia that comes and extends to this point. Alright, so to cover this gap right here, this gap down to here, you're going to need another piece of aluminum, and we can use this same fascia that we have. So you measure from here down to here. Mine was around 2 3/4. In order to rip that 2 3/4 piece that you need down, you're going to want to just go, this is just a scrap piece of fascia here, but you're going to want to go right in this middle ridge and just bring your razor blade straight down a couple times. Give it a couple good scores. Then you're going to bend it in half very carefully. On itself first, like inward, in on itself, and then out, and then in, and then out, and it'll eventually break off, and you'll be left with a piece like this. Now I had this left over because I did 2 other bird boxes before. All right, so you want this orientation. So if you'll remember, mine was 11 3/4 where we made our last cut. So 11 1/4, mark that, and that's right where we want our bend. Our speed square. So there you go. There's your piece that will sneak up underneath there. We'll go put this up. All right, that's buttoned up now. So that'll sit down. That right there will sit down. When I put the piece that comes up over, like I ran here, that will, whoops, this fascia piece will run down over like that. So you're only gonna see a small little portion, and actually we nail everything together like that. So that's pretty much like the finished product right there. So I did it. Well, I'll just continue to run fascia, starting on this end and go work my way down. And like I said, we'll tuck underneath that one, so you won't see the seam from the driveway.